Build Show Live 2025. We're in Dallas, Texas. I got all the contributors. We're going to get out and see what was the best, the coolest, the most interesting stuff. You guys ready? Let's get going.
Build Show Live 2025. Best of the Expo floor. Walk the show floor. Discover new brands and learn from the industry's leading manufacturers at Build Show Live.
All right, guys, we are here at the Isokern booth at Build Show Live, and I have my friend Carrie here. Carrie, this booth looks amazing.
Thank you.
You guys, we shot a video recently, Carrie and I, about altitude adjustment and what products we're using over there. But now we can actually give you a sneak peek in person because this is the Magnum fireplace. This is what we're using in altitude adjustment.
Yep. A little smaller
much,
scale.
much larger. So what size is this one?
This one is our Magnum 36, and it's literally 22 pieces.
Yeah.
So as a modular masonry firebox, you can imagine how easy that is and how quick that is for anybody to be able to build this onto a job site.
Yeah.
I like to say that we're the functional part of a fireplace and everybody else makes it pretty, but this is what's going to be behind the prettiness here.
This is cool. So this is something that stopped me in my tracks when we did our previous video. We were talking about what the Isokern units are made out of. We've seen masonry fireplace units a lot, and typically it's more like a CMU block that's bulky and heavy and inconvenient. This really surprised me. And last time we talked, you told me it's an Icelandic pumice.
Yes.
So tell me why you guys use this and what the benefits are. I have some benefits from a builder's perspective, but where was Isokern going with this?
So the functionality of the Icelandic pumice, because of its purity and it being taken out of a volcano, and it's the purest sense, it's a lighter product and it's also highly refractory. So as far as the functionality of the Icelandic pumice, it really is the main,
It can take a lot of heat.
Yeah, it takes a lot of heat.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get heat that's comes out into the front and not be absorbed through the product.
Yeah.
So being lightweight, also being highly refractory, you're going to get a lot of functionality out of the fireplace, where a concrete type of product, you know, what happens to concrete, you heat it up, you cool it off, you know, that's
Starts
why these
cracking, all kinds of things happen. The cool thing that I like, at least from an install perspective with this particular material, is weight. So we're constantly thinking about what our trades have to do on the job site and how much they're lifting and how they're getting around, and really quite concerned about their safety and just making sure like their backs stay good or they don't have any health issues. This is a whole lot lighter, so it's easier to maneuver, it's easier to get around. When it gets delivered to us in all the individual pieces, the pallets are easier to move. If we need to take everything off the pallet to get it into a tight space or something, the weight of this is a whole lot better. It's just a really cool material, and I love that you guys have kind of conquered the market with this. And this is really one of Isokern's main things they're known for, is this particular material.
Yes, I actually can dry stack this. I need a little help with the top plate.
Yeah.
But I can lift up the sides. I mean, it's not the lightest thing, but yeah, it's very
easy to get around.
Yeah, so it's very easy to get around a job site, to your point.
That's awesome. And now I want to walk over here. Let's check this out. So this is the fan. Walk me through where this unit would be placed and then how we're planning on installing it. We can talk a little bit about the rest of the components, but can we turn this thing on?
Yeah. So this is an XB250 Expantiso fan system, and at its highest point, it's running at a 900 CFM. What's great about this is what we did is we kind of took the fans on the market that have been on the market forever, and we addressed two issues that we had, both with the install perspective and a homeowner's perspective. And we made these a quieter system, and it made a quick connect Molex connector, so therefore it's easier for the trades just to connect it, opening up their schedulability and those types of things. So we made it easier to install and a lot quieter. This would be your termination. So on the very top of the chimney, this is where this is going to go.
Okay. And then this box is really the control.
the controller.
So this is what's controlling everything within the fan assembly. It goes mounted somewhere hopefully near the fireplace. In our case, we're actually going to put this about 10 feet below the fireplace unit in a mechanical room. But this is that other little thing that I just want you to see up close. All of the connectors are quick connect, so you're not having to worry about soldering anything or trying to get, it's quicker, it's less time consuming, it's easier on the trades themselves. And you guys have really come up with a great system and a great package to put in a house, whether it's a new construction build or even a remodel.
Correct.
I'm super excited. You guys will have to stay tuned. If you haven't already watched the Isokern video, go over and check that out. We dive deep into the unit that we're using on the house and altitude adjustment itself. We even get to talking about CFM and how we're bringing fresh air in because we're sucking so much air out. So it is a great video. Go over and check that out, and let's go see what else we can find at Build Show Live.
Hey guys, Wade Paquin with WKP Builders. I'm over here at the Architectural Concepts booth with Scott. How you doing, buddy?
Good, good to see you, my man.
Good. We're at Build Show Live 2025, and today we're going to just talk a little bit about these interior doors. I have been building for 23 years now, and I'm constantly on a quest to find superior products for our job sites. And we have worked with some decent interior doors before, but they've had defects, they've had warping, primer failures, all sorts of things that we've struggled with. And our local supplier, Horn Millwork, North Atlantic Corp, that now owns Architectural Concepts, came to me as a premium supplier of all sorts of millwork and interior building materials. Brought Architectural Concepts to my attention a couple of years ago now.
Yeah, too. Yep.
And I have been very pleased with these doors, and we use them on all of our projects now. We were just talking about the design flexibility
100%
on the door, and Scott was saying, if you give me a sketch on a napkin, we can make that door for you.
Make your doors important again.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'd like to talk a little bit about how the door is made with the recycled material and stuff, and what I feel is a real selling point because of the stability that provides the door with expansion and contraction. So can you walk us through a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I'm a firm believer in recyclability matters and using MDF, which is 100% recycled, which is green before green was cool, is the way I like to talk about it. So we wanted to make sure that the customers like yourself and everyone else gets a product that's 100% recycled. No added formaldehyde is our basic MDF we use every single day. 30 times more moisture resistant than regular MDF, giving us a platform to use, a 69% solid primer to give us the best door in the industry. Primes really well, paints unbelievably well. It's Green Guard Gold certified, so you don't have to worry about any kind of off-gassing, any type of formaldehyde emissions, and just giving you that design flexibility you want is something that'll acclimate better into your environments, if it's more humid, and just giving you what people deserve is doors should be intricate in the design element of a house.
Sure.
And understanding that you can get whatever you want with a environmentally friendly product at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I mean, interior doors are things you touch and feel every day in your home, right? From the hardware to the door, the thickness of the door matters. These are nice, heavy doors, and you can appreciate that when you're operating the door. And the primer, maybe we could talk a little bit about the primer too, because what we found is our painters, when they're painting the doors, the finish on it is unbelievable with really minimal prep work compared to the other doors that we'd been using before.
100%. I think in our industry, we've lost touch with getting mass production out versus taking the time to put a door on and a primer on that doesn't orange peel. Mm-hmm. They're worried about just using 50% solids. It's cheaper. Send it through the atomizer, lays it down, never flows out, dries, flashes, and then you're sanding that all the way off and having to reprime in the morning or the afternoon, whatever. I think that is not acceptable. I think you should be able to put the proper primer on, higher solids, to create that barrier between your substrate and the top coat to allow it to flow out, to lay down and have this beautiful finish at the end of the day and not have to resand a door
Totally.
and do it again.
Yeah.
Costs you more money, time,
Totally.
right?
That's one thing our painters have said is the amount of time that they were prepping other doors before to now prepping these AC doors is definitely saving a lot of time, and the finish has like been unbelievable.
I like to try everyone. It paints like butter. That's like fun.
It does paint like butter. Yeah, it does. It lays flat. You know.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
that's the
and it
thing.
matters. Like
Yeah.
if you're doing a higher end door, you shouldn't have to sacrifice the quality for the type of door that we're doing. I think it's unacceptable, and I think people just need to understand that there's products out there that make sense, that are still cost effective, but giving you the design flexibility and the premium product at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's setting the bar pretty high for interior doors. We do a lot of high-end custom homes, and this just kind of fits with our brand, right? Because we're trying to provide an interior that is just, something you have your friends over, you have your cocktail party, and you're talking about your kitchen, but maybe we're talking about interior doors too.
100%. You don't want to go up to a door and go, "Hey, that's a nice hollow core door you have in your $4 million home." No offense to the hollow core door people, but sort of. There's a fence there.
Yeah.
But we want people to come in and use it as a design element to talk about it. Like
Exactly.
you're walking through your house and you go, "Wow, that's a really cool camber door you got there," versus, "Hey, that's a really cool 2-panel door that everybody has down the street."
Everybody else has.
Yeah, no,
Right.
I think, and they're heavy. You grab it, you're like, "Wow, that's a cool door," and it's a talking point versus an afterthought where doors typically used to happen.
Yeah,
right?
and I can appreciate that about how you guys are manufacturing. It's like that. You talk about the speed of other production. It's like more of slowing it down to get it right.
Yeah, 100%. We deserve better in the industry, and I think you should be able to have what you want and use doors as a design element, just like you do cabinets and you do, countertops and flooring and all these other great elements. Doors really matter, and it's sound deadening. It can be a great design element.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, if you're in my market, which I'm in Rhode Island, Horn and Millwork distributes all throughout my market, and now is. Ace, where can someone that may be in the Texas market, or where can they find?
So on the
AC?
website, we have dealers all across the United States. We sell through all of North America. So call us. We'll help them, get to the right dealer and help them with their door designs.
There you go. All right, Scott. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate it very much. Thanks for the
for
support.
watching, guys. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Peace.
Hi guys, Mike Connolly here. I am at Build Show Live 2025. I'm on the show floor. And as you know, this show floor is filled with innovative products. But I found something that's innovation that was born in the field. I'm here with Dino, who's practically my neighbor, fellow Chicagoland guy. So totally stoked that I ran into him here on the show floor. But he has made some incredible products. He has got here a miter clamp that he's actually invented himself. He produces these. He's 3D printing these right now, but he's moving to a more advanced manufacturing of this and some other crazy products that are just awesome. So Dino, why don't you tell us about what you've invented here and how it came about?
Yeah, so the miter clamp is born from being a second generation cabinet maker myself and trim installer, to where some of these tools are kind of out of date. They haven't been innovated in over a good amount of time. So I wanted to take a stab at a few inventions, also introduce new things, being on site and having these difficulties in how to perform efficiently and get the job done faster and more consistent. So with the miter clamp, there's a few things about this that makes it amazing, is that it's very lightweight. So when I'm walking around with my own personal bags, this is what I wear on the job site, it's easy to put these in the bag, carry it around with me, trim a house. The features of the clamp are locking in place, so you really hold that miter together. The indexing of these pins into the side of the material leaves a very minimal mark behind, close to a 23 gauge pin. So when the painter has to come and repair that, very easy. You can retract them, work with them, adjust them how you like. It can be laid flat either side. And the biggest feature of this is that because of those screws in the position, when you're laying it on one side, you get your standard molding and grabbing it right in that middle 3/4 thickness molding. But when you flip to the other side, you can grab that thinner molding, which is becoming very popular, that you can lay your trim flat, keep those transitions smooth on a table, and then clamp it together.
What I love about it is the pins are actually trim head screws. So if one of these breaks, which is unlikely, but if it does, you can go to Home Depot, you can go to your local hardware store and get some trim screws and just stick them in, screw them in, and now you've repaired your tool.
Yep. So everything about this is not like I got to have something special to do this or that. Try to take things that I normally have with me. Something doesn't work. Okay, let me grab this. Okay, I can put it together and fix it and keep going.
Tell us what else you have here for a local cabinet maker, maybe a smaller shop that
Yes.
can't afford the huge equipment. Tell us what you got. This is really
Yeah,
cool.
so aside from doing site work on site trim, inside my shop, I design, build, and install my own cabinetry, custom cabinetry. And so I designed a system that takes what normally is in big manufacturing shops and bring it into the smaller shops so they can now bring that work back into their own shop instead of outsourcing it. So the biggest thing is making cabinet doors, where they'll reach out to a company, order doors, but what happens a lot is we make a measurement wrong and we got to reorder a door. Now that's a 2 to 3 week lead time, but why don't we bring making cabinet doors back into the shop with an affordable system to at least start that? Right here, this is what I call the cabinet door clamping system. Works off a compressed air system. So I have a little trim compressor here running it just to show it's closed air, so you don't need a 80-gallon compressor to run this thing. And what it does is it takes that air pressure, you put your cabinet door parts together, put this in place, and then once you shoot that clamp down, it pressure and glues the thing together. You can let it sit and clamp. You can take it out, pin nail the back joint. There's different ways people like to do it, but it takes what this system would be right here and make it 1/10 of the price on those bigger commercial systems. And on top of that, those systems tend to be where you buy a table and it's set up for one operation, but I designed this modular so that you can then add things afterwards, like a face frame clamping system. So then you could build your face frames, your cabinet doors on one table as big as you want. Literally, you pick the size you want, and if you end up saying, hey, I want to make a whole new bigger table, use the system, put it on that next big table.
Wow.
Because what I do is I provide the core components for the clamps, and I tell you how to make a table, and you can make it as big as you want.
That's awesome. And this can become a mobile unit as well, right?
Yes,
Tell us about
that to me was exciting when a customer reached out to me saying, hey, I want to buy 2 systems, but I want to put one in my shop, and I want to retrofit our trailer to put this in the trailer, so when I'm on site doing built-ins, anything like that, we have the quality control in our trailer to go in there, make the face frames, clamp it all together. Hey, we got to make some doors to cover some access panels. We can literally clamp and make the doors in the trailer and then bring it right into site without having to set up on site, do this, or communicate back to the shop. Like, you saved all that time just being right outside the job site, set up, ready to go.
So you're bringing big shop capability
Yeah.
down into the small shop at an affordable price.
At an affordable price. That's the thing. This is not, the concept is not new, but for you to try to start using these systems, you're spending $10,000 and up,
I love it.
when this could be $1,000 and in that range.
Crazy. I love it. That's just one of the innovative things you're going to see at Build Show Live. Don't miss this next year, Build Show Live 2026 in San Antonio, for more stuff like this.
Hey now, CJ here with the Build Show. We're at Build Show Live 2025, and check out what we got behind us. I am with Bot, is the company.
Yep, Bot, German company. How you doing? Nice to meet you,
Nice
CJ.
to meet you, man. I'm an electrical contractor. We have 5 guys in the field. I've spent a lot of money on vans. We're van guys. Don't get me started on van versus truck, but van far superior to me.
Hey, we
for
like
what
vans.
we do.
Yeah.
Weather.
Yeah.
But it's really been tough. One of my first vans that we bought, Transit, with a plumber's body, so double door.
Yep.
Was nice because it was kind of already upfitted, shelves, but I don't know. It just never was perfect. We build this, build that. Then we went to the cargo, which we got behind us. No outside bins, but they're a little bit more expensive, better logos on the outside. But we've always had a really hard time figuring out upfits. We've done wood shelves. I've seen all the stuff. You know, when you buy them, I think the dealership will be like, "Hey, you can go buy these aluminum shelves."
Yes.
It's hard to organize them. And this is insane. Can you give us a little
We will give you a tour. You know, our philosophy here at Bot, it's a German company, family owned, been around for a very long time, 100 years over in Europe. We're relatively new in the US, but you know, our approach is how to master space and time. And so as we look at the van here, that's the goal. And we want to give you guys flexibility. So what we're looking at here.
Space is everything, right?
Space is everything.
Because that's what I was saying with the aluminum or wood shelves we've gotten. they usually just are like a catch-all. We just
Absolutely.
Can we fit on this? Stack it up, and it usually ends up just a nightmare. It's not.
Well, kind of the heart of the system, what we see here are these brackets, right? So we laser scan all the vans, every make, model, wheelbase, roof height, and we make custom brackets that are no drill into the OEM anchor points. So you have to put no penetrations in your van to install this system. From there, what we essentially have, we have a series of frames. So if you come on in here with me, you're looking at a 42-inch frame right here. And in this case, we've actually divided this frame vertically. So that gives me 2 columns, right? I have an L footprint, we call it, and an M. I could have left this open, which is what we have behind you here. So here I've got full shelves. I've got a drop front shelf for all my bulky boxes, right? Like a Milwaukee pack out. So I can put bulkier equipment there. I can have standard shelves. On this side, you're an electrician, right?
Yep.
So we've got a drop
lots
down
of
door.
Little parts. We got lots of little parts.
Got my conduit.
There you go.
Slide in and out.
10-foot storage.
Yep.
So full 10-footers slide right in.
Correct.
That's
and everything is very, very modular. So all of these can be adjusted 1 inch up and down.
Okay.
And if I want to pull a box out, I lift up, pull it out, lift up again. Now I'm out and ready to go.
I think that's been our biggest headache. Even when we home build them, we've you know, put them at an angle, but you still have stuff sliding out. I mean, these things move a lot.
Yep.
And I don't think unless you've driven a van, you don't know how much they move.
That's
so
right.
You pull up at the supply house and you're like, yard sale, everything's on the ground. So I love that. And then can you tell me, I recognize them. I know other companies have similar boxes, but I've seen these sustainers somewhere.
So this is fully integrated with the Sustainer system. So Sustainer, another German brand, which we sell here in the United States. This system is really designed to accommodate the Sustainer, but as you can see, we welcome everybody, right? So if you've got Milwaukee Packout, you've got DeWalt, you've got Makita, Bosch, we don't care. We want to store whatever you have to transport.
And Sustainer is the Festool, the classic.
We also make it for Festool.
Okay, so same container.
Same container,
right,
exactly.
So they stack. They have their
Absolutely.
super thought out latch. I mean, I think everyone knows. That's why I brought up Festool, is because if you're a tradesman, you've recognized the box. You've seen how handy they are.
Yeah, so we were the original box. Been around since around 1990.
You gotta show that.
And so if I just turn the latch, open it up, you can see right here.
And then all these inserts pull out.
Yep.
And
we call our organizer.
That I actually did not see earlier.
Yeah, 3D printed labels.
Because we got, I mean, electrician, right? Same as plumbing, million different sizes. I've never had a good way of labeling, whether I get the old Stanleys or even just any style organizer to get a label. So that's just a groove.
There's a little groove there,
And you can 3D print, so you can have 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1 inch.
Yeah, I mean, obviously some guys, we also sell a paper label sheet, right?
Okay.
We take a little next level with the 3D printing.
I love that. That label's a game changer to me.
Yeah.
And then what about this outside label?
We
How do
3D
get
print
those?
these as well. So we can do this for you as well, or you can do it yourself.
3D printed, so any configuration, I wanted to say anything.
Yep.
Fully customizable. That's
absolutely
a game changer too, because that's what I always have a problem with. I'm a nerd when it comes to organizing, and there's no perfect way to do it, but the labeling's been the hardest. Like if you have a bin here, we've tried to, I actually color code really is cool. But you know,
and one
if you
thing
don't
I'll
see
point
what's
out,
in it.
the boxes that are in here, these boxes, same boxes can also be put in the drawer.
Ooh,
so if you have parts, you say,
different
I don't need to
configuration.
take
So
these into the job.
You can't see big,
Yep.
small, and then like any configuration. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Because like, yeah, when we're organizing 1 inch stuff, they tend to be bigger. You go all big.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I love that.
A couple other things. These are cool for all your bulkier parts. So switches,
Clear front.
clear front. I can put dividers in here. We call these bot boxes. If I need to take one out, I just pull it.
That's
they come right
actually
out.
slick. So that's actually cool. I love that because there's a lot of stuff where, yeah, we'll run in here and grab one, but sometimes we're doing 50, so I can grab the whole drawer
And
if
then
it's
take it in.
fasteners, take it to the
Exactly.
job.
Exactly.
I like that. I love it.
Over on this side here, we call these universal case holders. So this is going to be again for your competitors' boxes or competitor to our boxes.
Yep.
They slide in and
The
out.
plastic red, everyone knows.
Held in place by gravity. Another drop front shelf here.
What's wire storage? How does?
Yep. So I've got there's 8 spools. So if you look down below here, this actually has a front and a back.
Oh.
And then the one behind your right foot there, that's in front of your wheel well. So this is just a single right here.
Got it.
But otherwise, that's dead space right here.
And how do those load? Rod
So
pops out?
Yeah, this rod just pops right in and out.
Load them up?
Load them up. Exactly.
I like that a lot. Because that's when, I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of, some build show guys that watch us are electricians, and you know these plastic spools, the worst thing that ever happens with them is when they break.
Exactly.
And there's no good way to stack them. I love that.
And we don't have one in the van. We do make also a very large, we call it a V shelf. So that'd be for your big diameter spools, right? And so
take us up front, maybe.
So maybe he wants to come around here for a second. Come in the side door. We'll talk about some of this,
dude.
So I know this is not for the electricians, but we do have also these this storage system here for your refrigerant tanks. But for you guys, anything that's bulky.
Yeah, so I'd have stacks of Romex here.
Exactly. And by the way, your Romex can also go in there.
Yeah,
so
I like
also
big
fit
bins.
in these drawers here.
And so remind me when we order this, you know, what does the catalog look like where I can pick and choose what I want, where I want it?
So if you go to our website, bosssmartvan.com, what you're going to do is say, I have this van, you know, Ford Transit, 130-inch wheelbase, high roof. And then what we're going to show you is packages. So you can order an electrician's package, a plumber's package, or you can go to the configurator. And if you go to the configurator, you can actually go frame by frame.
And just nerd out.
And nerd out.
I
exactly.
love that.
And if all else fails, you call us and we can literally do it component by component.
I think the biggest takeaway I get, like I said, when we've organized our vans is like, I look at a space like this. The bulkhead that butts up against the cab is always
normally dead space.
Totally dead space in ours. We put some hooks and kind of whatever thrown up. But what's this?
So this is our perfo design, right? So what you're looking at here is our half and half where we have perfo panels. It's our twist on pegboard. We've got shelves on the bottom.
And they just click right in?
And what you're seeing here, actually, this is a 2-in-1. So it's the only partition in the world where you have a storage module and a partition all integrated into one design. And so this partition here, this is sound dampening, insulated, fully crash tested.
Sound dampening's huge.
Yeah, you'll have to take a peek on the inside. It looks really nice on the inside as well.
I'm sold on the sound dampening because we just have an aluminum one and it's loud as can be.
And you'll see we put the perfo anywhere we have space to put perfo, we put it. And that way you have options. See how we've attached all these little Klein boxes?
Magnetic.
Yep, absolutely.
Dude, you guys have thought about everything.
And the way this works is these hooks are held in place and this can't come out when you're driving. You got to turn that little guy. And that's what actually locks it into place.
That is slick.
So still easy to move if you need to move it, but it's not locked in permanently.
Okay, I love it. I want to show off one thing. I mean, we got the tour.
Yep.
And it's insane. I'm going to check out the website because now I want to configure one.
You want to
but
play
you
around.
showed me earlier in front.
Yeah.
I kind of want to show that off because it just blew my mind. It's a third-party company, right? It's not you guys.
Yeah, so this is a friend of ours, Pete, over at 10 Spot Tools. He is a 3D printing wizard, and what you can see is that he has made a lot of the, he specializes in pack-out inlays, but he's been nice enough to start making these 3D printed inserts also for the Sustainer. And Pete, how many do you have done so far? Maybe 10, 15?
The Sustainer, I think we have 16 models
16 models available?
Wow.
Over 350 for pack-out.
I mean,
very cool.
I mean, this is insane, right? Because I think everyone's had a toolbox or a bin where you just chuck everything in, and it's so nice that, well, A, the tool doesn't rattle around because we spend a lot of money on the tools.
Absolutely.
And then the fact that when I'm looking at almost every one of these, it's not just the tool. They've already
you got your accessories, your consumables in here.
So you grab your staple gun, you got your staples. You grab your drill. I always call this a drill kit, but I mean, I don't know, in the past we've taken styrofoam and stabbed them and it never, whatever, it lasts that long. But this is
Pete is brilliant.
Insanely thought out. All the chucks, drill bits, nail gun, every size fastener. And it's completely, that's what blows me away about this 3D printing. Oh man, it's just insane.
Really it's very cool. We're very excited. And obviously, you know, we sell the Sustainer and we want people to have a full solution inside, and Pete helps us get that done.
What was the company again?
10 Spot Tools.
10 Spot Tools. So, I mean, again, being a super tool nerd, it's just crazy because, again, it's just a catch-all most of the time.
Absolutely.
So we upfit the Sustainers, we stack everything. I don't know. It seems like the way it's configured maximizes.
Yeah, we want to maximize the space. Also, you know, think about it. You know, your van when you're out there, that is that's kind of like your business card. It's your advertisement, right?
Oh,
and so
yeah.
You can think about your customers, right, or other coworkers, colleagues, competitors. You know, that's a statement when you your guys have their act together, right?
I love it. Okay, guys.
Awesome.
I think we kind of saw everything. I appreciate the tour. I highly encourage you to go check out Bot. I'm going to.
BossSmartVan.com.
It's going to be really hard not to nerd out tonight in the hotel room and spend
You can come back
the
tomorrow.
company credit card, I might, yeah. But anyways, check out more episodes on the Build Show. We're at Build Show Live 25. Bot, thank you guys.
Awesome, CJ.
We'll see you on the next one.
Appreciate it.
All right.
All right, we have stopped here at one of my favorite booths. We are at Pella, and I wanted to show you guys some of the really cool displays that they have here. Some really, really unique window displays, I think. This is showcasing a different side of a window display. We're used to seeing all these big, beautiful, gorgeous windows and doors installed, but I want to show you a little bit more technical details. So this is awesome.
Yeah, this is definitely technical. Thanks for stopping by, Stephanie. I'm Jaron Voss. I work with Pella Corporation. I manage our architectural solutions team. And what we brought all the way down here to Build Show in Dallas is really a window test chamber, just like we have in the lab back in Pella, Iowa at corporate headquarters. And we can spray water on this window, and not just the window, but also the install. And we can do it just the exact same way that we test windows for performance in Pella. So what we can do is spray continuous water on it, and then I have an air pump over here, and I can basically push air into the outside of this, which is going to try to force that water and air through the install and the window.
And this is really, I mean, I've had the honor of being able to go back to the factory and see what you guys do there when it comes to R&D and testing. And it is incredibly impressive to see these really big window and door units that are being tested like this. But the fact that they've been able to put it in a display that they can bring to shows, this is incredible, because you can really show people kind of the nitty gritty of how you guys are testing these windows every single day.
Yep, that's right. And so back at the lab, we have much larger scale of this. This is a smaller one. And the other thing we did about it that's really cool is we made it completely transparent. So you can see around the window, and you can see how different aspects of the install impact water performance.
Yep.
So what I can do here, and I'll turn up the pressure a little bit, is vary the amount of air leakage through the install. So all these little valves here basically simulate a bad interior seal.
Okay.
So, you know, we like to see a low expansion foam or maybe a backer rod and sealant at the interior. And everybody thinks about that as really a way to insulate.
Yep.
But it's more than that.
Yep.
It is an air seal, and that air seal doesn't just impact thermal performance and comfort and energy efficiency, it impacts water performance. So you can see on the display over here,
Yep.
it's a close-up here with this webcam of the bottom corner of the install, and there's really nothing to see right now, right? Because
until we open one of these valves.
That's right. Because there's no airflow through. But once we open up the valves, and you can open up those on that side, if you want to, they'll flip down. You can hear some of the air starts to flow through those.
Right.
And then if you watch the screen, if we get all these open, now you see how there's some water starting to drip down?
Yeah. So we're simulating a leakage. And really you're doing it in a controlled environment where you can show people this is simulated of a bad install, and this is what happens. This is how much water can get in.
Exactly. And notice we didn't change anything about the flashing.
Right.
But we caused a water leak by
air.
messing up the air seal in the interior. And a lot of people think about those as separate things, but they work together.
Yeah.
Because with a good flashing, you've got watershed overlaps.
Right.
So gravity
We're
is going to bring
protecting-
that water away
Yep.
until you introduce that airflow that pulls it through.
Yep.
So if I could crank up the pressure and make it look really bad.
So
but the
I
other
guess
thing that we've done that I want to show you is, you know, with Pella's install method, we call for that interior seal or the sill flange to be left unsealed so that water can escape.
Yep.
We put these little dials here so we can simulate basically opening up a gap under the sill nail fin or closing it.
Yep.
So if we open those up by turning those this way. Yep. All right, and you can see from the video how we've got a bunch of water in there.
Yeah.
And we're holding it in there really with the pressure. But if we close these valves, then you can see that all that bubbling stopped and the water is going to be able to flow out from behind the sill fin that we just opened up.
This is really cool.
Yeah.
So how does this When we're talking about the brand new innovation that Pella came out with recently, the study set, and you guys have probably seen a ton of videos and installs of the study set. How does the study set window, because it has a little bit different of an exterior flashing flange than a traditional nailing flange. So how does this kind of test transfer over to a steady set window?
Right, so we usually talk about steady set with regard to speed of install and safety and all those cool features, and those are all true, but we did a number of things to incorporate water performance concerns. So a lot of manufacturers that have fold-up flanges, they're not necessarily sealed to the frame, and maybe you need to seal the corners in the field. Well, this is fully sealed to the frame.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite pieces of this, is this rubber corner.
Yep.
Because it can flex open, it's not tearing as you're pulling those flashing.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's fully sealed all the way around. Another thing that we did that helps with water performance is the sill spacers. So most commonly we see installers set a window and then start to pry it up with pry bars and then jam shims underneath of it.
They sure
and
do.
those shims stick through the interior seal. And it's most important to have a continuous interior seal at the sill,
Exactly.
right, where that water might be. So having these already installed, they don't puncture the interior seal. That's another feature. And then the last feature you see is these dimples in the sill fin. That is going to prevent that sill fin from ever sealing to the roof opening, sill flashing, just like we demonstrated here, and allow that water to escape.
Well, and I love that you guys also have printed on these do not tape.
Yes.
So it's just one more thing that helps people understand as they're installing these windows. Granted, they're usually knowing how to install them before they put them in, but it is just a great extra precaution if you're using steady set in particular, where your installer is installing from the inside instead of outside, and then maybe your siding contractor is flashing before they put their material up. It's just, this is another great little added feature that's super cool. And
another fail-safe.
Yep, exactly. You guys get online, check out all the videos that we've done with Pella. We have everything from installs and information about steady set, all the way through to more detailed information about the 2 displays that they brought here to Build Show Live. And stay tuned, because there is a lot more stuff here on the show floor, so let's go check it out.
I am in Embrico's booth with Jason, and Jason was just showing me a few of the new things that they have in the show. Number one, we have a mitered edge, which you guys didn't have before.
Yeah, so that's brand new. This is the first show we've ever shown that off at, but you can do any riser height or drop height you want. This is like a 2-inch drop, but mitered edge matching, so for decks or stairs or pool copings, you can kind of get that thicker porcelain block look.
Okay, and then I want to come over to the display over here and look at this. I think is something that's going to be a great thing for you guys.
Yeah.
So we just installed this on one of our projects. We haven't shown it publicly yet.
Yep.
The bar that holds the system together. So if you don't know Embrico, it is effectively a tongue and groove tile.
Yep, exactly.
Tell me if I say something wrong.
No, you're exactly
right. I'm not
right.
your marketing guy.
No, you're exactly right.
That fits into the aluminum rail, and then everything is held in place where it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, yep.
And then it has little eyes on the end that poke out to allow for drainage.
Exactly right.
The new system has an anodized bar, so the bar is black. The old system was silver, so you could see a little silver line through there, which is not the end of the world, but now this is a shadow.
Yep. So brand new at this show, it's all anodized aluminum track now. So it's a particular aluminum alloy. It's all ocean breeze approved, saltwater approved, everything like that. We don't do like in the Midwest with that, but 2 cm or 3/4 thick porcelain tile. And then it's reinforced with a fiberglass plate. So that's what makes it safe to elevate up on pedestals or up on conventional deck framing. And then you hit the nail on the head. It's tongue and groove system. So it's all about speed and efficiency of install. Groove on 2 sides, fits into that T-shaped aluminum track, which can click on top of adjustable pedestals or go on top of conventional framing. Basically just slides like a tongue and groove wood floor into place. Those little bumpers on the end maintain spacing end to end. Perfect 1/8-inch spacing on all 4 sides, no lippage, free draining.
Yep, and so you said free draining.
Yep.
Everything is exterior and wet rated.
Yep, exactly.
So we should talk about, sometimes when you feel exterior rated tile, or even interior rated tile, people will be like, well, that doesn't feel rough enough for a wet area. I'm uncomfortable with that. Like that might be slick. The ADA, American with Disabilities Act, has a coefficient of friction. It's 0.6 or greater friction. everything that you make meets that ADA requirement
Yeah.
for 0.6. So everything is wet rated,
Exactly.
exterior rated.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it. And that's an important note, I think, because you can't just touch it and feel whether or
Yeah.
not it's, some things feel slick and are grippy enough,
Yep.
and some things feel rough and are not grippy enough when they
Exactly
get wet.
right.
It
Yep.
actually has to be tested and certified, and your guys' stuff is certified to be
Yeah.
outdoor and wet.
Yeah, so we offer free samples. We've got over 100 different colors, several different shapes and sizes. But yeah, they're all ADA approved, skid resistant. They actually have a higher DCOF rating than like composite decking or concrete pavers. So we always push free samples. We love clients to get the product in their hands, take a screwdriver, try to scratch it. You know, get it wet, run your hand across it. Take a magic marker, try to stain it. So we push the free samples so people can touch and feel all the benefits of porcelain.
Yeah. This is a forever system too.
Yeah,
Like we're
yep.
talking about aluminum and very thick ceramic.
Yeah, yep.
So put it down on something that's going to last,
Exactly.
like a very good quality roof
Exactly.
or a high quality deck,
Yep.
and then just leave it.
Yeah, yep. Comes with a lifetime warranty, but it's all porcelain tile. One of the main benefits of porcelain is its density. And so since it's non-porous, that's why it doesn't stain, doesn't grow mold or mildew. I know Matt was pretty fired up about it being Class A fire rated, and we did some videos on that. Miami-Dade wind uplift certified, doesn't blow away. It's rated at a Category 5 hurricane. Salt, you can use a shovel, ice melt on top of it, just about anything. So.
Okay, check them out. Embrico.
Yep, thanks.
We are here at Bosch Home Comfort. I am here with Bryce. I know a lot about mechanical things, but he's more of the expert. He's going to talk you through the IDS system, and then we're going to talk about some other things. This is all going to be about indoor air quality and efficient air and water heating.
So we're standing next to our IDS unit. This is our mainstay Bosch Home Comfort. This is kind of our first product in the North American market. It is a full inverter ducted split system. We have our 20 SEER here, but we've got a 15 SEER as well. It's the only 15 SEER inverter on the market. So you're getting full inverter efficiency out of a 15 SEER product. This is our 20 SEER. You can see the board. This is kind of our brain of the system. A lot of our competitors require that you have a communicating thermostat, which is a challenge for a lot of homeowners when it has troubleshooting issues. Ours is simple. All of our technology's out here. All we're doing is reading pressure coming back to the unit, and this modulates to meet the needs of the home.
So let me show you something. What I've dealt with in the past, like with a furnace, is they might have a little red diode that blinks, and you have to pay attention to how many times it blinks, and then you can figure out what the diagnostic issue is. What they have here now, ordinarily you would have this panel. So if you're a mechanical contractor, you could unscrew it, and then they actually have the code there. So for a service technician, I think that's a pretty cool thing. How many stages does this guy have?
So this has 85 stages.
So instead of a single stage unit like you're probably used to in a more conventional system, you're going to get a lot of efficiencies. And then let me show you something, because we have to get into the things you might not have seen. You didn't make the show maybe. This is a Rector Seal product for the condensation drain. If you have condensation drain, sometimes you'll get that slime or that sludge in there. Is it copper? Do you know what they actually put as far as treating this?
I think it's something like that.
In any case, they have some sort of a treatment that's going to help you not to have your condensation get plugged up or that sludge, which I've had happen before. And in the middle of the morning, when the AC starts condensing and you have water running down your wall, it doesn't make your wife too happy. So now this is, what would you say, kind of a point of use air purifier?
Point of use air purifier. We've got 3 sizes. Kind of small, medium, and large room. They're not ERVs, but it is a opportunity for us to have some air purification in our home along with our IDS units.
So where I live, sometimes what I end up having to deal with is wildfire smoke in the summertime. But you know what I have to deal with all year long? A 14-year-old teenage boy. So this would be perfect, especially if you live in like an apartment complex or something, that you can't start from the ground up involving your indoor air quality solutions, but you could use a point of use like this so that you can have cleaner air. That's kind of the main point. And then this, I'm not really in a super cold climate, but if you are in a really cold climate, this can heat or cool you.
Yep.
No, heat you.
Heat you.
And what's the exterior temperature?
Down to negative 13 degrees. So this is our IDS Ultra product. It's kind of our new mainstay for the show this year. It's built for more northern climates, so here in Dallas wouldn't obviously be as effective, but it can heat down to negative 13 degrees without losing a lot of the efficiency that you would see a standard unit.
What was the term?
Vapor injection.
Vapor injection. So you might not have heard the term before. That is a brand new term to me, but here's the concept in a nutshell. Basically, the mechanical workings of this is going to produce heat. That heat can be harvested by this unit with that vapor injection. So that's how they're able to produce heat or harvest even more heat from here and the ambient air and get heat at such a low temperature.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. All right, and then the last thing, we are typically a spec builder, but sometimes our houses don't sell because we just overbuild, which is just a thing that we do from time to time. So what we end up doing is we rent them and we hold those properties in our portfolio. So then we get to be a property management firm. And we want to make our serviceability as easy as possible.
So James is going to come over and show us how to get the blower wheel out of our mini splits. A big challenge for mini split owners is that they're hard to clean. A lot of times when a homeowner ends up with a dirty mini split unit, they have to replace it because you can't get the blower wheel out. Or if you try to clean the blower wheel, you end up messing up the mini split. So you take the filter off the top. You'd clean that. You open the top of the mini split. There's a couple clips that you would have to undo for ease of use. We've already done some of this stuff, but it's pretty simple. There's a couple cords you have to take out, and then you just kind of roll it down and out. So it's really easy to clean. You don't have to replace your mini split just to get it clean.
And then just one last unit over here I wanted to point at, your heat pump water heater.
Yep. So this is our heat pump water heater. It's got the same inverter technology that our IDS unit has, standard 50 and 80 gallons. The cool thing about this unit is it actually will blow out 7,000 BTUs of cold air. So if you wanted to cool a space, whether it be a garage or a small multimedia space, you get your hot water for the rest of the house, and you also get some cold air coming out of the side of the unit.
Awesome. Bryce, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Bosch
Thanks for
Home
having us.
Solutions, Build Show Live 2025. Awesome booth.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
All right, more good stuff here at Build Show Live. I'm just like you guys. I learn from Build Show contributors all the time, and something that I recently learned from my buddy Wade is that I'm wrong about pocket doors. I have long hated pocket doors and tried to design them out of my assemblies because I grew up installing crummy pocket doors. The house would, settle and there'd be a shift and I'd have to rip off all the casing. I'd be repainting the room to make a door adjustment, to make a door operate that probably could have just been designed a little bit better. And that's what they've done at Eclise. This is a metal system that goes together really quick. The rails snap into place, a couple of screws in the loose system. If you need to do some wiring, that's available, so I can actually put my switches and receptacles on the pocket door wall, which is a great innovation. But something else that's great about it is the track, the key to the operations is actually removable. So with the door in place and the drywall and trims finished and left in place. So what we get is a lifetime service product that is so robust it probably won't need service. And then they've thought of everything, not just with the clean hardware, but even the recessed jam side. On your strike side, most pocket door installers anymore just put one piece of flat jam stock. Eclise will actually provide you with your jam stock that's already recessed so that even your finished trim looks better with an Eclise rough in.
All right, guys, we have stopped over here by the Edco booth, and they have a lot of really cool products that I want to walk you through. I've got Carly here with me, and we're going to be showing you some of the stuff that they're displaying here at the show this year, and maybe give you a little heads up of where you could find this product in your market. So, thanks, Carly.
Yeah, thanks for coming to our booth. We're really excited to have you here, Stephanie.
Of course.
This is our Perspectives products, and what we would love to hear from you, Stephanie, is where do you think you would use in a project this authentic wood grain in the horizontal or vertical, and then we've also got a complementary solid colors. How would you use that in the project?
Yeah, I think in Utah we have a lot of WUI areas, wildland urban interface, and we're wanting to use a lot of products that are perfect for that, so not real wood, but a lot of people want the real wood look. So in my mind, the way you guys have done your siding, your wood look siding, it looks great, it looks authentic. I think there's a lot of products on the market that don't look really authentic. So that's probably my favorite thing about this. That's really where we're going to see it used a lot. I also think people who are not in WUI areas that are building right now are really keen on, at least my clientele, like low or no maintenance. As these people are getting older, they're wanting to age in place in the houses that we're building. That's a huge priority for them. Not having to go through and restain or maintain things is a really, really big top priority. So we're even using this on projects that aren't in WUI areas. So perfect for the wood. When it comes to the solid color, again, it goes back to a lot of that maintenance, because when we're doing like a fiber cement board somewhere, it's just something else that the clients have to make sure that they have someone to keep up for them. So we have been using a lot of metal products, and that's been great for our market. Does really well in the snow, does really well in the sun, holds up really well. So that's where you've seen a lot of this stuff being used on our jobs, both for siding material and some other materials like what you have over here for soffit.
Let's just take a wander over here and we'll look at the installation side. So this is an installation in process of the Perspectives products, and you can see it here featured as both siding and then soffit. What's your favorite feature of the installation innovation that we've done here?
I think a couple of the things that we talked about as we started walking through this was it's almost got a built-in rain screen, which is super cool. So you can't see it from straight on, but there's some venting in the top of all these panels here. The other thing I really love is the way they've installed it. Oh yeah, here we go. So you can see the venting in the top of each one of the panels. So as they lock together, it leaves you with basically a built-in rain screen between these products. So same thing on the bottom. They install really easy, which is another great thing. I watched you guys put this board together and the install is pretty quick. I love the way the panels come together. I also love, I know you're coming out with something new in a bit, but the way they install these products is great too. So a lot of times, you know, whoever siding contractor's installing it, they're using nails, they're trying to get just like the perfect depth or the perfect install, and you guys are coming up with a solution for that. So
Perfect.
I love that.
Awesome. All right, now we're gonna just take a quick turn around over here and take a look at our roofing products as well. So this is our Aero line. This one is inspired by authentic slate. We also offer shake. Where do you see this being used as both accent or a whole roof in a project that you might do?
Yeah, so primarily when clients are wanting slate, I think they are not understanding the cost associated with that, and also just it is a very durable product, but it's also sensitive. So in the way that it's being installed, we have to be very careful that things aren't getting broken. A metal roofing product is long lasting. It can be on a building for a really long time. It's extremely durable. And then some of the stuff I love about this, I love the way you guys have created some snow retention. So traditionally you'd see on our projects like a big metal bar, like a snow fence or snow retention bar that goes across. It's not very beautiful. The way you guys have done the snow retention looks good. The color matches the shakes. And I know you've also got some clips on here that would be for something like solar panels, which we're doing a ton of. So this is great. I think my favorite part about this product is how true it looks. So sometimes you see metal products that are just very bland, don't look as authentic as something real. However, there's a benefit to using them. In this case, you guys have not only done like a really great job with texture, but also color. So there's color variation. Every panel's not the same. It's just really simple. And you also have big sheets. So they install really easy and makes things kind of move quickly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take one last turn around and we're gonna head over to our mood board so that we can talk about how we pull the whole picture together. All right, so this is our mood board display, but what we're trying to show here is how do you use all those elements and pull it together into that final picture so that it can tell one cohesive design story and it can be different and catered to the aesthetic of each individual person who is designing their home.
Yeah, I think, you know, we work together with a lot of interior designers, and as they're collecting samples or different materials that they want to bring together, creating a mood board is really what gives the client the vision. We often, as builders and designers, see things in 3D or see things as a finished product, and we kind of forget that our homeowners don't really visualize things that way. So the mood board is great to be able to see everything really kind of get pulled together. We can see the samples of the wood with the soft color, plain color siding. We can even pull in some of our soffit and fascia metal materials, which is great. But you guys have done an excellent job of just showing all the different products that you offer, all kind of coming together. And then the client can really visualize what it is that they're looking at. You can also point back to all those same great features of no maintenance. We're not talking about low maintenance. This is stuff that'll last for a really long time. And it's always gonna look this beautiful for as long as it's up on the house. So this is great. You guys have done a beautiful job with the display.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for swinging by. We really appreciate having you here.
Of course. All right, guys, let's go check out some other booths here at Build Show Live. There is so much to see. We don't want you to miss any of it.
Oh, hey, Jake.
Christina.
How are you?
We are in Huber's booth. I'm with Christina, and we're going to talk about one product today. It says new because it is new. What am I holding, Christina?
This is our new Zip System multi-purpose tape. It's an acrylic flashing tape, the same technology as the flashing tape you're using today and so many other people are using today on the market.
So Huber listened, and I'm going to say we didn't say like we need a different tape. Huber said, hey, people are using our seam tape for all kinds of stuff. So they make a 2-inch wide, unbranded, so you peel this wrapping off and there's no words on this. We've used this for deck joists. We've used this for random things around the job site that have nothing to do with seam sealing or nothing to do with actual waterproofing or air sealing. It's just a high quality pressure sensitive adhesive that we can use wherever we want. And you guys released this at IBS this year, so we still get to say it's new. Are you guys, this is everywhere now, right?
It'll be national as of January this year, but it's been distributed throughout the market. We're really excited about it and a lot of great benefits to using this over some other traditional joist flashing tapes today.
Okay, so no backer, exact same technology as in your regular 3 3/4 seam tape. If I use this on the panel, do I get a warranty with it or no?
No, it cannot be used for seam sealing, but the one place we are warranting it is for overdriven fasteners. So you can use it in that application instead of using a large piece of 3 3/4 inch tape or our liquid flash. This can be used in that application.
Okay, so in other words, if you overdrive a fastener, which you guys would define overdriven as?
Halfway through the zip panel.
Okay, this is technically a little cheaper per piece, and you could have this in your pouch a little easier and go around on the ladder and fix those. So wait until January and you will have this everywhere. Or if you're at the show, you could have grabbed one today. I already have one in my backpack. Thanks, Christina.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey y'all, I am Mike Conley with Greenside Design Build. I'm at Build Show Live down here in Dallas. And what I love about Build Show Live is we get all the technical information from the local reps and vendors. And we even get a sneak peek into the new products that are coming out before the rest of the marketplace knows. So I'm here with Dugan.
How you doing, everybody?
From Andersen Windows up in Bayport. And he's just showing me a cutaway of the Andersen A Series. Now the A Series window is one that I use in my projects. It allows us to get a huge expanse of glass, big windows, especially in a modern look. And he was telling me that the Andersen A Series has had a triple glaze option available for quite a long time, which is awesome. But something new that's coming out is triple glaze in the 100 series. So Dugan, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so what's amazing is the A Series product, as Mike talked about, we can do these super, super large because of the utilization of Fibrex in the frames and then a pultruded fiberglass in the sash. So we're able to handle the weight of a big triple glazed piece of glass inside of there. So now what we've done is taken the amazing energy efficiency that is inside of the A Series units and put that into our 100 series products. So our 100 series product is an all Fibrex frame, all Fibrex sash, now housing our triple pane glass, not only making it a composite that is virtually maintenance free, but now also the best energy efficiency available on it. So really exciting innovation. So now we've got our top of the line A Series, our introductory 100 series, both with that incredible energy efficiency.
Wow, that's great, Dugan. So we got the box ticked off for energy efficiency.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about durability in both products.
Yeah, absolutely. So a little background on Fibrex. So Fibrex wasn't actually invented to be utilized in windows or in doors. It was actually first utilized as a weather break inside of our patio doors. We were getting hot and cold air conduction coming through those patio door sills. So what we did is we used all that reclaimed wood we had that were too small to actually use in rebuilding windows and doors. We ground that up through a proprietary process. We bonded that together and turned it into this composite. So what this composite does is it has zero energy transfer through it whatsoever. You could take a pellet of Fibrex, toss it out into the river, go and grab that in a few years. It will not absorb 1 ounce of moisture. So it makes the perfect product to make a window and door out of, which we've done in our 100 series product. Now this has been time tested, true, fantastic window, but what we've heard is we want a higher level of energy efficiency out of this unit. So why not take something that we already had in place in the A series with our triple glazed casements and put it inside a 100 series. So now you get the best of both worlds.
And that's huge in the marketplace, especially me as a builder. If
Oh,
I'm trying
yeah.
to hit a certain price point, and I'm usually buying like an A or an E series, but I want triple glaze, I want the efficiency, now I can jump to a 100 series, better price point window with the triple glazed glass. So it's pretty neat.
Absolutely a win-win for all.
There you go.
What's up, guys? Coming to you from the Firepoint booth, Build Show Live 2025. My buddy Tiong is the Chief Research Officer. Tiong, your team took a decade to develop this product called Firepoint. And I love these displays showing it in use or in person. But if you don't know what this is, how do you explain it to people?
Well, Firepoint is a fire-rated sheeting panel. It goes into a fire-rated assemblies, 1 hour, 2 hour assemblies, internal and exterior wall assemblies. So that's what Firepoint is in a nutshell.
So this exterior wall here, which just has regular 5/8 gyp on the inside, regular fiberglass, 2x4 construction, but then Firepoint sheathing on the outside, would this be a 1 hour rated assembly?
Absolutely. This would be a 1 hour rated assembly. You can see the 2x4 here. This is the sheeting that goes on the outside. What you're seeing, or what you're not seeing here, is the gypsum layer that usually goes on the outside of a 1 hour.
To get to that 1 hour rating. So this, if this was regular OSB, regular plywood, this would not meet it. But because we've used Firepoint as a sheathing, we were able to meet that 1 hour rating, right?
That's absolutely right.
And we don't have exterior gyp, which no builder likes. I would go so far to say that it really stinks to use exterior gyp on our jobs. I hate doing it. But the other thing that's interesting about this is you don't even have a fiber cement siding on this display. This is actually a composite, engineered wood.
Yep.
So is there a problem to not have, let's say, a fire rated cladding on the outside of that?
So on top of the fact that you don't need the gypsum layer, we're agnostic to what you put on the outside. You can put vinyl on there, fiber cement on there, you can put engineered wood, you can put real wood, and it will still hold a fire rating.
Wow.
And as it's turning around, you're going to see that the bad insulation on the inside. We're agnostic to whether you're using a glass fiber or a mineral wool insulation. It's still going to maintain a 1 hour wall rating.
That's pretty awesome. And not only that, it's more than an hour because this product has actually been tested to hold out flames for 90 minutes. So when we use that in a 1 hour rated assembly, we're actually beating code by 50%, right?
Yeah, I mean, we designed it to go beyond code. And that's really what we're trying to do, is because, you know, building construction, you're always going to have delays, you're going to always have uncertainties, and you want to build that extra fire protection in because it's lives that you're trying to save.
Yeah, we interviewed a fireman a little bit ago on stage who was saying, you know, it's not only that it just meets code, but it exceeds code that he really likes. Because when you've got a fire, you know, especially in a lot of rural communities, we've got volunteer fire people. We may only have a couple of firemen that are going to show up right away. Some others are going to come in. If you're downtown Chicago, sure, you've got a huge group. But if you're in any rural place in America, it's going to potentially take some time to get a full crew of firemen out on the job. So having that extra protection, that 50% greater protection, that's pretty cool. Now, next up, I want to show this display. This one is really interesting to me, Tiong. If I look at this wall, this is a typical double stud party wall that we use in multifamily all the time. I built a ton of townhouses that had this. But in the center of my party walls, not only were they not framed in wood, they also had full gyp on the inside. But this display is showing 2x4 walls with this CDX product that is actually Firepoint. Talk to me about how this would meet code or exceed code.
So this is a 2 hour rated wall. So you get 2 hour fire protection from this side, and you get 2 hour fire protection from this side, and exactly what you said. All this would have to be built with a shaft liner in the middle of it. You know how difficult that is. It's very heavy. It has to go on clips and railings, and somebody has to install it, and position it just right without dropping it and chipping it and cracking it. So this doesn't require that at all. So during our first build of this ever, when we roll out Firepoint, you can see the smile on the framer's face when they put this wall up in less than 4 minutes and just erected it, and they got one half the wall already done.
Normal framing.
Normal framing. And it's light. You know, Firepoint is less than 50 pounds. One person can lift it up, handle it. You treat it just like you would treat a piece of plywood.
Yeah, it's regular CDX. Two things I want to mention on that too. Number one, it's a 6-month rating for exposure too. So if this was a gypsum assembly, I'm really worried that, hey, it's gonna rain next week for 4 days in a row and I'm not gonna be able to cover this. So I might have to redo sections. I might have damage to my gyp. It's certainly gonna get easily bumped and damaged on the job site, and this is not. The other thing I wanna make mention is look at the direction of the Firepoint. This sheathing, the structural sheathing, works either direction, but depending on the assembly, we might install that intumescent coated side, which is the gray side, one direction or the other. So it doesn't always have to be on the outside of your house like we showed on that display. In this kind of party wall situation, it's facing in towards the houses to kind of shield that those flames from getting through.
And that's what should give homeowners and builders a peace of mind, because all these are tested by the assembly.
Yep.
So you should never in a fire rated assembly just sub things out. And so they're tested that way so that, you know, in every specific assembly, it's fit for use, it's fit for the purpose, and it's gonna give you the fire rating that you're supposed to get.
Yeah. Now, something I want to point out as we end the video, Tiong, for people watching, you know, I think people that watch the LA fires are like, oh, certainly when they rebuild in LA, they're going to use these. This perfect scenario. But I think something that other viewers need to think about is if you're building beyond code, if you're building rural, if you're building anywhere where you want to give your clients that extra protection, that I love their saying, stall flames, save lives is one of their logos. It makes a lot of sense. And by the way, stay tuned at the next conference. I don't even want to say the dirty name of the next conference because it's not Build Show Live, but we're going to unveil some new details, some new products. These guys have been really innovating behind the scenes. Firepoint, really neat product. And Tiong, the Chief Research Officer, I appreciate you coming with me, brother. You're the best there. Love you, man.
Enjoy the show.
For sure, guys. If you want to learn more, you can go to arcon.com, I think is the main website, right? Yes. Or you can just type in Firepoint on the Googles and you can find it. We'll see you next time from Build Show Live 2025.
Join us next year in San Antonio, September 10th through 12th, 2026. Pre-register today